Good day, learners! Today we're going to talk about the 4 fundamental operations on rational numbers. Iisa-isahin natin yan sa video na to. So the first operation is addition. So if we have A over B and C over D, which are rational numbers, then A over B plus C over B is equal to A plus C all over B. In this case, ito yung para sa similar fractions. Pag dating naman sa dissimilar fractions, we have the form A over B plus C over D is equal to AD over BD plus BC over BD is equal to AD plus BC all over BD. This is for dissimilar fractions. Now, let's start adding similar fractions. So, yung rule natin sa pag-add ng similar fractions is that first, we're going to copy the same denominator, then add their numerators. At kung pwede pa nating masimplify in lowest term or in lowest form, then we can do so. Okay, let's have problem number 1. We have 2/5 plus 1/5. Okay, so, ang gagawin natin, we need to copy yung common denominator. So, since common yung denominator nila, we call these fractions as similar fractions. Then, i-add natin yung numerators nila. So, we have 2 plus 1, that would be equal to 3. So, 3/5 would be our final answer. So, since yung 3/5 is already in lowest form, then this would be our final answer. Okay, let's have number 2. We have 3 over 7 plus 2 over 7. Again, since similar fractions, we're going to copy their common denominator, then add their numerators. 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. So, since naka-lowest term na siya, then this would be our final answer. Okay, how about number 3? We have 6 over 12 plus 3 over 12. So, we need to copy the denominator. So, that would be 12. And add the numerators. We have 6 plus 3 is equal to 9. Okay. If we're going to look at 9 and 12, pwede pa natin siya masimplify in lowest form or in lowest term. So, maghahanap tayo ng number, pinakamalaking number na pwedeng pang-divide kay 9 and 12 in which yung answer walang magiging remainder. So, ano yung greatest common factor ni 9 at saka ni 12? That would be 3. Okay. So, we will have 9 divided by 3 and 12 divided by 3. So, yung greatest common factor nila, we're going to divide it sa numerator and denominator. So, 9 divided by 3, it becomes 3. And 12 divided by 3 is equal to 3/4. Therefore, our final answer is 3/4. Okay, so pwede na rin na hindi na siya isulat. If in case alam nyo na agad, you can do this one mentally. So, for now, pinakita ko lang yung process. Okay, let's have number 4. We have 5 over 14 plus 3 over 14. So, copy the same denominator and add their numerators. So, we have 5 plus 3, that is equal to 8. Again, we can still simplify 8 over 14. So, pwede natin silang i-divide ng greatest common factor nila which is equal to 2. Okay. So, 8 divided by 2 at saka 14 divided by 2 para ma-transpose or para ma-transform natin siya in lowest form. So, we have 8 divided by 2, that is equal to 4. And 14 divided by 2, that is equal to 7. Last example, we have 6 over 7 plus 3 over 7. Copy the common denominator. Then add the numerator. So, 6 plus 3, that is 9. So, this is our final answer. As we can observe, mas malaki yung numerator kaysa denominator. And we call this fraction as improper fraction. So, this could be our final answer. Pwede rin natin siyang i-transform in mixed fractions. So, we have 9 over 7, or how are we going to change this one in mixed fractions? So, we're going to divide the numerator by the denominator. So 9 divided by 7, that is equal to 1. 1 times 7, that is 7 minus. So 9 minus 7 is equal to 2. So this would be our whole number na part, 1. This would be, yung remainder natin would be our numerator. And yung divisor, of course, our denominator. So your answer could be 9 over 7 or 1 over 2, 7. Now, let's proceed with adding dissimilar fractions. So, when we say dissimilar fraction, those are fractions who do not have the same denominator. So, let us say we have number 1, we have 3/4 plus 5 over 6. So, yung denominator ng first fraction is 4 at yung denominator naman ng second fraction is 6. So, hindi sila magkaparehos, therefore, these fractions are dissimilar fraction. So, how are we going to add the similar fraction? First step that we're going to do is to get the LCD. So, paano ba kukunin yung LCD? So, para makuha yung LCD, we can list down all the least common multiples of our denominator. So, we have 4 and 6. Ito na yung mga multiples ni 4. We have 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8, 4 times 3 is 12, 4 times 4 is 16, 4 times 5 is 20, and so on. Okay. Not necessarily tatapusin natin lahat na pagsulat. How about sa 6? We have 6, 12, 18, 24, and so on. Okay. Now, kung titignan natin, yung least common multiple nila is yung pinakamaliit na number na magkapareha silang dalawa. Okay? So, pag sinabi nating multiple, we are simply skip counting, right? So, in this case, yung least common multiple nila or yung LCM nila would be equal to 12. So, since 12 yung LCM nila, it follows that their LCD is equal to 12. So, ngayon, isusulat natin sa baba si 12. Now, other books or references have different styles in adding similar fractions. So, for me, ito yung process na susundin ko. Okay? So, yung LCD natin, we're going to divide it sa denominator ng bawat fraction at kung ano man yung magiging sagot, i-multiply natin sa numerator. Okay, focus muna tayo dito sa first fraction na 3/4. Okay, again, LCD divided by the denominator. So, we have 12 divided by 4, that is equal to 3. Okay, yung 3 na sagot, we're going to multiply it sa numerator ng ating first fraction. So, 12 divided by 4 is 3. 3 times 3 is equal to 9. So, we're going to write here 9. Then, plus. Next, we have 12 divided by 6 is equal to 2. Okay, 2 times 5 is equal to 10. So, you will have 19 over 12. Now, we cannot simplify further 19 over 12 kasi wala na silang common factor except 1. But this is an improper fraction. Although this is already a correct answer, but we can still transform this one into a mixed fraction. So, yung mixed fraction niya, it could be 1 and 7 over 12. So, you can have the improper fraction as your answer or pwede rin yung mixed fraction as your final answer. Again, we need to get the LCD of the denominators. So, the denominators are 7 and 2. Ano yung LCD ni 7 and 2? So, pwede natin siyang i-list down again. Now, pag bihasa na kayo masyado, there's no need to list down everything. Okay? Mentally, you can solve or identify the least common denominator. Ibig sabihin lang ng least common denominator is yung pinakamaliit na number na pwedeng i-divide sa 7 at sa 2 in which walang remainder na matitira. So, we have 7. Then, we have 14, 21, and so on. Then, we have 2, 4, 6, 10, 12, and 14, and so on. So, yung unang number na common sa kanila would be, or yung pinakaunang multiple na common sa kanilang dalawa is 14. So, our LCD would be 14. Okay, same process yung gagawin natin. divide sa denominator, and kung ano yung magiging sagot, we're going to multiply sa numerator. Okay, 14 divided by 7, that is equal to 2. 2 times 5, that is equal to 10. Then, plus 14 divided by 2 is 7. 7 times 1 is 7. So, the final answer would be 17 over 14. Or, again, pwede rin natin siyang gawing mixed fraction. 17 divided by 14. So, you will have 1 and 3 over 14. Now, let's proceed with our last example. We have 2 over 9 plus 2 thirds. So, yung LCD ng 9 and 3 would be 9. Okay? So, 9 divided by 9 is equal to 1 times 2. So, that will be equal to 2. Plus, 9 divided by 3 is equal to 3. And 3 times 2, you will have 6. Therefore, lalagay ko dito, we have 2 plus 6, that is equal to 8 over 9. So, we cannot simplify further 8 over 9. Ito na yung lowest form niya or simplest form niya. Therefore, our final answer is 8 over 9. Now, in subtraction, we have A over B minus C over B is equal to A minus C all over B pag similar yung fractions. And we have A over B minus C over D is equal to AD over BD minus BC over BD is equal to AD minus BC all over BD if the given are dissimilar fractions. Now, let's have some examples sa subtraction. So, we are going to find now the difference of the following. So, yung first two, we have similar fractions, right? Now, same lang yung pag-subtract natin ng similar fractions, gaya ng kanina. So, we have 5 over 7 minus 4 over 7. Again, we need to copy the common denominator, then subtract the numerators. So, we have 5 minus 4, that is equal to 1. So, the final answer is 1 over 7. Okay. Number 2, we have 6 over 21 minus 8 over 21. So, copy natin yung denominator na common. Then, we're going to subtract yung numerators nila. We have 6 minus 8, that is equal to negative 2. So, bakit negative 2? Kasi, mas malaki yung numerical value ni 8. Okay? So, positive and negative, so it becomes negative 2 over 21. Now, some answers, kadalasan nilalagay nila yung negative sign sa taas, yung iba naman nilalagay nila sa baba. Same lang yun siya. Pero, the proper way of writing the negative sign is kalinya ng ating horizontal bar or horizontal line. So, the final answer here would be negative 2 over 21. So, this cannot be simplified any further. Now, let's have 3 and 4. So, sa 3 and 4, these are the similar fractions. Okay? So, kailangan nating hanapin yung LCD nila. So, number 3, we have 3/4 minus 1/2. Okay, so ano yung LCD ni 4 and 2? Again, you can list down all the multiples. 4, 8, 12, and so on. 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on. So, yung common sa kanila na pinakauna would be 4. Therefore, 4 is their LCD. So, ilalagay natin si LCD as their common denominator now. So, 4 divided by 4 is equal to 1. And 1 times 3 is equal to 3. So, the answer is 3. Minus 4 divided by 2, that is equal to 2. 2 times 1, that is equal to 2. So, simplify natin yung nasa numerator. We have 3 minus 2, that is equal to 1. So, our final answer would be 1/4. Okay, how about the last item? We have 7 over 8 minus 2/3. So, ano yung LCD ni 8 and ni 3? Okay, their LCD would be equal to 24. Okay, bakit naging 24? Again, if we're going to list down all their multiples. We have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, and so on. Sa 8 naman, we have 8, 16, 24. So, 24 agad yung LCM nila. Therefore, 24 is our LCD as well. So, again, yung LCD, i-divide natin sa denominator at kung ano yung magiging sagot, i-multiply natin sa numerator. So, 24 divided by 8 is equal to 3. 3 times 7 is equal to 21. 24 divided by 3 is equal to 8. 8 times negative 2 is equal to negative 16. And simplify natin yung nasa numerator. So, copy lang natin yung common denominator. 21 minus 16 is equal to 5. So, our final answer is 5 over 24. Now, let's proceed with the multiplication. So, the form of the multiplication, we have A over B times C over D is equal to AC over BT. Now, let's proceed with the third fundamental operation, which is multiplication. So, sa multiplication, all we need to do is to multiply the numerators, multiply the denominators, then simplify in lowest term. Okay. So, we have here, example number 1, we have 4 over 9 times 2/5. So, i-multiply natin yung numerators nila. We have 4 times 2, that is equal to 8. Then, denominators, we have 9 times 5 is equal to 45. Now, we cannot simplify any further 8 over 45. Therefore, 8 over 45 is our final answer. So, ganito lang kasimple yung process ng pag-multiply ng fractions. So, what if we have number 2? 3 over 7 times negative 2, 6. So, we can use that to symbolize multiplication, and we can also use parentheses. So, same lang sila. Multiplication yung ibig sabihin. So, 3 times 2, that is equal to 6. And 7 times 6 is equal to 42. Now, we can actually use cancellation method. But for now, yung gagawin muna natin na process would be numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. Okay. Now, take note of the sign. The sign of the first fraction is positive, while the second one is negative. So, since unlike signs yung dalawang fractions natin, we are going to follow yung rules ng multiplying of integers. So, positive times negative is equal to negative. So, lalagay natin dito sa na. So, your answer would be negative 6 over 42. And 6 over 42 can still be simplified. Okay. So, yung lowest form niya would be what? We can divide the numerator and denominator by 6. Okay. 6 divided by 6 is 1. 42 divided by 6 is equal to 7. So, the final answer is negative 1 over 7. Okay, how about number 3? We have 4 over 15 times 9 over 2. So, numerator times numerator, we have 4 over 9. We have 4 times 9, that is equal to 36. 15 times 2, that is equal to 30. Okay, we can simplify further. Pwede natin i-divide yung numerator and denominator by 6. Okay. So, 36 divided by 6 is equal to 6. 30 divided by 6 is equal to 5. So, we have 6 over 5. So, this is, again, an improper fraction. Pwede rin natin siyang isulat into mixed fraction. So, yung mixed fraction equivalent niya would be 1 and 1/5. And when it comes to division, if we have A over B divided by C over D, that would be equal to A over B times D over C is equal to AD over BC, where C is not equal to 0. Now let's have our last operation. So we have division. So we're going to find the quotient of the following. So, ano ba yung rule ng division? So, sa rule ng division, if we're going to divide fractions, before we divide, we need to get the reciprocal first of the divisor, then proceed to multiplication. So, ano ba ang ibig sabihin ng reciprocal? So, if we have 4 over 9 as our divisor, its reciprocal will be 9 over 4. So, pag sinabing reciprocal, yung numerator magiging denominator at yung denominator naman is magiging numerator. So, we have example number 1. 12 over 20 divided by 4 over 9. So, 12 over 20 is our dividend and 4 over 9 is our divisor. So, isisulat muna natin ulit si dividend. We have 12 over 20. So, instead of division, we're going to proceed now with multiplication. So, ang symbol natin ngayon becomes times or multiplication. Then, we are going to get the reciprocal of our divisor. So, yung 4, 9, babaliktarin lang natin maging 9 over 4. Then, follow natin yung rules ng multiplication. Numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. So, 12 times 9, that would be equal to 8 times 1, 9 times 1, we have 108. And 20 times 4, that is equal to 80. Can simplify further the two numbers. So, ano yung pwedeng nating ma-divide kay 108 at saka kay 80? So, that would be 4. 108 divided by 4, that is equal to 27. And 80 divided by 4, that would be equal to 20. And this would be our final answer, or pwede rin natin siyang isulat into mixed fractions. So we have 1 and 7 over 20. Okay, let's have problem number 2. We have 3/8 divided by 2 over 9. So copy yung dividend. Proceed to multiplication. Then get the reciprocal of our divisor. So 2 over 9 becomes 9 halves. Then multiply. 3 times 9, that is equal to 27. 8 times 2, that is equal to 16. So, wala silang common factor except 1. So, this will be our final answer, or pwede ba natin siyang isulat into mixed fraction. So, it will become 1 and 11 over 16. Okay, let's proceed with the last problem. So, we have negative 5 over 6 divided by negative 1/5. Again, copy yung dividend. Proceed to multiplication. Then, reciprocal ng negative 1/5. Magiging 5 over 1. Okay, multiply natin. 5 divided, negative 5 times negative 5, that is equal to positive 25. And 6 times 1, that is equal to 6. So, wala silang common factor except 1. So, this would be our final answer. Or, we can transform this one into mixed fraction. So, we can have 4 and 1, 6. Now, it's your turn. Try to answer the following questions. And that's a wrap. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, Sir Ninyo. And you can also post your math problems in the comment section. And we will do our very best to provide solution to your questions. Because remember, every problem has a solution. At kung math ang problema ninyo, ako ang kaagapay ninyo, ako ang Sir Ninyo.